scored final time, or last 32 here at Players Championship 5. And we have two players here that were on the same board as the second seed, Peter Wright. But Brendan Dolan has taken care of Snakebite. Another well substandard display from the former UK Open champion. The world number 2 beaten 6-1 by Brendan Dolan, only averaging in the high 80s. And after a couple of very, very poor displays in the Premier League over the last couple of weeks, you do wonder just what is happening to Peter Wright. It is a very strange situation to see one of the most consistent players on the tour going through a real bad patch at the moment. Brendan Dolan played some decent stuff though.
First for the ball.
Made a quarter-final last weekend in Barnsley. That was his first ranking quarter-final for around about 7 months.
Bullseye.
He was beaten in that quarter-final by Peter Wright.
25.
So he's got some revenge today. Can he go any further than the last 32? He's going to have to take out another seeded player in Jermaine Wattimena, who continues to get better and better. 3 ranking semi-finals last year, still searching for a first spot in a ranking final in the PDC. If he's going to produce it today, he's going to have to beat Brendan Dolan, who's got the darts and kicked off 177. The former decorator from County Fermanagh in Northern Ireland. Irish eyes really are smiling today on St Paddy's Day. Steve Lennon, big winner earlier on. Brendan Dolan taking out Peter Wright. Brendan Dolan, possessor of some of the meatiest forearms in world darts, like prize hams they are. 4 perfect darts, but no more 100. In this leg. What a start from the history maker, so called because he hit the first double start 9-darter. Did that at the Grand Prix. I've seen some since, or 2 in a game. James Wade and all-time great Robert Thornton. Look at this.
100.
Well, leaves himself 1, 2, 4 after 9.
98.
Staying on the treble 18s. Oh, a loose dart.
39.
First one he's had, really.
$85.
That's not enough to leave a finish for Jermaine. So Brendan, 15s or 19s. Some players might even look at bull first start from here, but I think it'll be the 19s. No, 15s it is. Tops. Now double 10.
75.
Awkward. $99. Well, it's a tortoise and hare encounter, this one. Brendan Dolan, you would think it'd be the tortoise, but it's been the opposite in terms of how many points these two have scored. Is Slow and Steady going to win the race for Jermaine Wattimena? No. No, it isn't. Double 5. 1-0 Brendan Dolan.
60.
Seen 4 players through to the last 16 already. Stephen Burton edging out Steve West. James Wade edging out Simon Stevenson, both deciding leg wins. Much more convincing for Terry the Bull Jenkins, 6-1 against Jelle Klaassen. And Michael van Gerwen continues his progress today in Players Championship 5. He is unbeaten in the Players Championship Series so far in 2018. He won the first 2, sat out the next 2.
100.
He's into the last 16. He's beaten Keegan Brown 6-3. Can anybody stop MVG, the world number 1 today?
180.
Maximum for Jermaine Wattimena. Even a maximum doesn't get Dolan to a finish, but it helps.
140.
Keeps him interested in the leg. Yes, the Dutch love that first dart bullseye for a 1-2-1 when their opponent's not on a finish.
81.
That means that he'll come back with 3 darts looking at double top. All Dolan can do is apply the pressure.
45.
But not a great deal is applied, in all honesty.
Game.
And last dart into the double top gives Jermaine his first leg. We are one apiece in this one. Dave Chisnall playing so well at the minute, having got himself free from the injury problems that had plagued him for a little while. Well, it has not mattered, because a 99 average for Dave Chisnall, nowhere near enough against Chris Dobie, who's averaged 102 and beaten him 6-2. Really good to see the young man from the northeast playing good darts again. He's been threatening to go on some deep runs, Chris Dobie, playing some very, very good stuff. Playing with a smile on his face again. And he is through to the last 16, joining the likes of Terry Jenkins, James Wade and Michael Van Gerwen.
96.
This is effectively board 9 we're watching here. So the winner of this will face the winner from board 10. That's either Ryan Joyce or Gabriel Clemens, who somehow has beaten John Henderson. Hendo was all over him in that game, but Gabriel Clemens, the German, well, how has he turned that game around? If you go to tv.dartconnect.com,
30.
you can find out. Well, he's averaged 97.7, Clemens. He was 5-2 down and won the last 4 legs. Well, well, well. Won it with a 12-darter. Dolan using a different
89.
route for the 1-2-1. Wattimena has to fill it up, and he's not going to, so Brendan's got plenty of time to see off the double 16, and it is usually a double that he's pretty adept at. 5-time winner of PDC ranking events, Brendan Dolan, former major finalist at the Grand Prix as well. His darts do kick up, so it might be covering a bit of that double 8, but not that bit. 2-1 to the man from Belcoo in County Fermanagh.
95.
Gary Anderson, the unbeaten run appears to be continuing. 5-3 up on Robert Marjanovic. In fact, he's just won it 6-3, a 99 average for Gary Anderson. Gabriel Clemens, I can tell you, is now 4-0 up in his board final on Ryan Joyce. And Gabriel Clemens is averaging 109. Look, he made a major final, or a semi-final, I believe. No, he went all the way to the final, Gabriel Clemens, didn't he, in the BDO last year? And he's been pretty impressive when I've seen him. And just looking at some of the results he's been pulling out, he's not had any massive runs in the PDC as yet. But I genuinely think he might be one to keep an eye on, Gabriel Clemens. He and Martin Schindler could really do some damage over the course of this year, not just in these Pro Tour events, but on the European Tour as well, particularly coming through those host nation qualifiers. I think Gabriel Clemens is going to qualify for a lot of Euro Tours this year, and he could really worry some of the more established names. Look at this for Brendan Dolan. Oh, just pulling it left. Wattimena under pressure. Could be the first break of throw in this match. That's a great effort. 1-2-6, starting on the 19s. 4 19s leaves bullseye. If he fires 2 trebles, it'll be double 6. There's one of the trebles he needs. Well, bullseye it is. Ooh.
101.
Not a million miles away. Wattimena, how many darts does he get for the leg? Probably only going to be 1. Double 16.
54.
Very difficult sometimes with Jermaine because he throws so quickly, just to see if everything went smoothly and correct. It looked from the brief millisecond we saw his arm that maybe he didn't throw it correctly. Wasn't very far away.
Game.
And that is exactly where it needs to be. We do have our first break of throw, and Brendan Dolan, having already taken out the number 2 seed, the world number 2, Peter Snakebite Wright, he now finds himself 3-1 up and halfway to victory in this game. Big Vincent Camphouse.
100.
The only darts player you can see on Google Maps. 5-4 up on Justin Pipe, the Force.
180.
As Jermaine Wattimena fires in his second 180 of this one.
96.
Adrian Lewis, last time he won a ranking event was around about a year ago. It was here in Milton Keynes. Looking to repeat the trick here today.
43.
But he's 2-0 down to the Magpie, Willie O'Connor. St Patrick's Day really is inspiring some of the players from the Emerald Isle to put in some big displays. Steve Lennon 3-all at the minute. Man from Carlow.
100.
He's playing Wayne Jones for a place in the last 16. There are similarities. Last Sunday we saw so many players from one half of the draw, so many of the top seeded players going out. By the time we reached the board final stage, we only had a handful, something like 4 seeded players left out of the 16 players in one half of the draw. Well, it's kind of similar here today, and it's in this half of the draw where the players have been falling. Jermaine Wattimena is a seeded player. He's not one of the top seeds. He's only seeded 31. But he's 3-1 down here, and it could be another seeded player on the way out. And that's a poor visit from Jermaine. It means that Brendan has got 2 visits to see off the 145. That will do for him. 1 treble will mean he gets 2 darts for the leg when he returns. I think Brendan
100.
will probably look at 20 for double 16. He does really like the double 16, although there is a school of thought that says don't go anywhere where you might potentially bust your score. So you could go 12 for tops. Well, okay, that's why that's so high and it's gone for double 6. So you could say he was definitely thinking about the potential of busting his score with the treble 20, and maybe he was still thinking about it when he went for the double 6, because he's missed them both outside. Tops. Oh, and that's a prime example of Jermaine Wattimena not wanting to affect his rhythm, so he didn't move. And he's just clattered into the flight of the previous dart. It's always difficult when you leave yourself 60 with 2 darts, because that first dart is going to get in the way for a lot of players. Okay. And Brendan punishes him. Double 6 is found. He survived a little bit of a scare there, because it would have been very, very different had Jermaine got the break back and made that 3-2. He'd be thrown to level this match instead of just trying to stay in the game right now.
$60.
There we go. I've just had a message on Twitter pointing out that Gabriel Clemens is not only doing well this year, which we've already said, but he's top of the German Super League ahead of Germany's number 2 Martin Schindler, who's probably playing the best darts of his life over the last 12 months. Only had a couple of weekends. So Martin, one of our darts fans based over in Denmark, I think, if I remember rightly.
60.
But yeah, I've been impressed with Clemens and certainly been impressed with the scores. I've not seen him play in the flesh that much, but I think we're going to be seeing quite a bit more of him if he carries on playing in the manner that he is. If Brendan Dolan carries on playing in the manner that he is, then we'll be seeing a lot more of him.
100.
Because he had a good 2 years where he really, really struggled, Brendan. But he's just seen off Peter Wright. He's averaging in the mid-90s right now. That's good enough for a 4-1 lead at the moment. And just 60, and you can see that the machine gun Jermaine Wattimena is frustrated. It's just not really happening for him. They have met a handful of times, these two. It's 2 wins apiece. Brendan won the most recent one, but that was a long while ago. I mean, that was in the Players' Championship finals back at the end of 2016. So it's almost 18 months since they last met. And in that time, Jermaine has really gone from strength to strength. He's been getting better and better. But today, it is not. If anything, it's getting worse as this game's gone on. And when he started getting around that 200 mark, he has been nowhere near as good as he needs to be in setting things up. A couple of times when he should have been leaving himself finishes.
59.
He's been stuck, unable to complete the leg, and it's just eased the pressure on the Northern Irishman.
71.
71, and it leaves him 1-2-2, and you know, it is a finish, but it's not as good as it should be. There should be more pressure on this. Brendan, bullseye for double 16. 17 leaves double top for 5-1. And Brendan Dolan has a stranglehold on this game. It is 5-1. He's thrown for a 6-1 win and a place in the last 16. Brendan started this year poorly by his own standards. He didn't even make the UK Open. And that is a big failure for a man of his pedigree. But he kicks off 1-7-7 just as he did in the opening leg. And that makes it more likely that this will be the last leg of the game. Can he follow it up this time? Oh, 5 perfect darts, and there was so much room. Well, it was 4 perfect darts to start the match from Brendan Dolan, and that was enough eventually to get the first leg in the bag. You would think that he's going to get handfuls of match darts to close out a 6-1 win and record a 3rd victory against Jermaine Wattimena of his career.
136.
Doesn't find the treble 16 that would have given him 3 match darts, but he's going to get 2 anyway. And they're going to be, at least one of them,
89.
at his favourite double on the board, double 16. Single 16 for double thereof for an 11 dart leg and a 6-1 win. Pretty impressive stuff. Brendan Dolan, that is an 11 darter. He sees off Jermaine Wattimena, and the conqueror of the world number 2, Peter Wright today, Brendan Dolan, is through to the last 16 on St Patrick's Day. An average of 96 in the end, and the 5-time PDC ranking title winner has given himself a chance of another deep run today.